Thank you for joining us on Hope Channel Kenya, Light in the Family. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching The Identity. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for interacting with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Hope Channel Kenya, on Twitter, at Hope_Kenya. Thank you for the love that you're sharing with us on our social media platforms. Also, we also have a hotline number where you can interact with us, share your views and comments also through it. Now today we are blessed to have two gentlemen and one beautiful lady. Karibuni sana. From my far left, I have Elder Morris Mbogo from Chuka University. Karibu.
Thank you.
I'm also blessed. We're also blessed to have Michelle Doty. Karibu sana. Doty.
Doty.
I'm about to ask, is it an ID name? It's
Yeah.
Doty.
Legit, yeah, it's Doty.
Oh my goodness. And lastly, our resident guest, that is HT. Karibu sana.
Namaste.
What does that even mean?
Forget it.
Anyway, my name is Samuel Mangi, and today we're going to talk about mentorship. I hope I got it right. Mentorship. Mentorship. Potato. We're going to talk about mentorship. Feel free to interact with us, share with us your views. Now, what is mentorship? HT.
Mentorship. Let me put it in my own words. Having someone to hold your hand until you can walk on your own.
I have a parent. Hey, Morris. What is mentorship?
He has used his own mind. I'm also going to use mine.
Feel free. I won't really know what is HT anyway.
Mentorship, it's an activity.
Mm-hmm.
It's an activity whereby someone on a higher ladder helps someone down there to get up where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody who's down the ladder is being helped by somebody who is up the ladder.
Exactly.
It does not matter which field. It's just it's a process.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so if it's a process, then why is it necessary to have that process? Doty.
I believe we need mentorship because most people in our generation need someone to challenge them, to support them, to give them that initiative to transcend the normal goals that are put by everyone else. So you need that push towards the right direction.
Somebody who's experiencing something.
Yeah.
But then Mbogo amesema it's somebody who's up the ladder. That can be age-wise or experience-wise.
Actually, it can be experience-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It can be experience-wise in the fields of, even in our Christianity, even in the careers. Yeah, we need someone who is up there, who has more experience. And actually, you bear me witness that most people who have experience also have age on their side.
So you've put me in a lock there. So it's possible to have somebody who's younger to mentor you.
It's possible.
Elder?
To have someone who is younger, to mentor you. Like for example, in the field of music, you get that some people have talents in music, and this person can be young, but they still have that particular talent. So if you're looking to gain from this particular person in that particular field, that person is younger, but will be still mentoring you in that particular place because he has experience in that particular field.
HT, what makes up a mentor?
Because
we are saying age, experience, but then clearly, because if I'm looking, whether do you have a mentor?
we could discuss that after the show. Yeah,
but no harm.
I have people I look up to. Let me put it that way.
Yes. But then anyway, back to the question. Is there something that makes up a mentor?
Okay, in addition to experience and age, as Maurice has rightly put, I also believe that a mentor should be interested in helping other people, because there are some people who probably may not have that drive or desire to help other people, to walk with them, to hold their hand. So you must also have the interest in helping other people. And I guess that happens when you yourself, there was someone who mentored you. So it's only natural that you want to return the favor to somebody else. Yes.
This is amazing. You said
Exactly. Yeah? As you have said, mentoring is a virtue. It's like you're giving back to the society. You've gotten to this particular place and you do not want it to end with you. So that you want...
Is it more of like nimefika, sasa wacha nikusaidie?
Yeah, you bring someone else up so that when...
So lazima ufike.
No, it's not a must that you are there. You can be almost there, but you're trying to bring someone else even more to where you've gone yourself. Yeah.
He brought in an aspect that I would like to bring in so we can discuss further. Probably Dr. can shed more light. He said that he has people who he looks up to. He did not categorically call them mentors. But then that also brings us to have an icon, have a role model, and have all these people. So what is it? Okay, first, who is a role model? Who is an icon? Probably you can start with you, Dottie.
I believe a role model is someone you look up to, someone you believe in, someone you want to be like when you get to a certain point in life. But a mentor, it's a two-way. It's two-way. That person has to be interested in what you're doing, and you have to be trusting. So it's two-way. But a role model, the person might not even know you, know your existence, but through his life and what he does, it inspires you.
She has made a very, very good point. Thank you. There's a relationship that exists between a mentor and a mentee, as it were. But
for a role model?
For a role model, a relationship may not necessarily exist. But for me, I choose to think about it this way. I may look up to someone, they do not know I exist. So I consider them my virtual mentor. You see what I mean?
Elder Morris, please shed more light to this.
Virtual mentor. Yeah, I like the term. No, when you're looking up to a role model, this is a particular person. When you look at them, you see qualities. You see that this and this are qualities, characters that I would like in myself. You might be a person that you can relate directly or indirectly, as he says, virtually, and you want those roles, those particular characters to be impacted in you also.
But then I have heard very young people who are saying, hey man, they have some icon somewhere when you look up to, that person is my role model. Is that mixing two, three articles at a speech that contradict each other? Dottie?
I believe so, but it's a non-issue at the end of the day. The point is being pushed to go to a place where you wouldn't have gone without that person in your life. So yeah.
So it's just a thin line on it.
Almost.
Okay, sawa. Now we have said who a mentor is, what makes up a mentor. Why should we have a mentor? You have said that we need somebody to push us.
Yes.
But then do we necessarily need that push? What is the role of a mentor?
No one knows everything, and if there was one of our viewers at home who think they do, they may need to reconsider. There's a nice little quote I found that says, "Listen to everyone and learn from everyone, because no one knows everything, but everyone knows something."
Burudia tena?
Listen to everyone
and
learn from everyone, because no one knows everything, but everyone knows something. So there's always something you can learn. There are people who might feel like, I don't need a mentor, but it's very, very important to take into consideration that there are certain things that this person might know that you are not in any position to know unless they actually tell you.
Elder Morris, is it possible? You're telling me something about some lady. People can share with us.
Yeah. As we're talking about this topic, it also has every topic has its opposite side, and it can be very, 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 very. We say, like, you consider, for example, I'm having a mentor, and this particular mentor is supposed to bring me up to the position that he is. But in some cases, it happens that this particular mentor wants to bring me to that particular position where he is and no more. That means that the way I'm going to grow in that particular career, in that particular walk, even if it's a spiritual walk, I'm going to grow even to that particular point, not growing to that
second point.
To the second point. That means that I can only be second, and he'll always be first.
Before we tackle that issue, first, what is the role of a mentor? Let us not jump into...
let us get wisdom from Michelle.
Michelle. What is the role of a mentor?
A mentor has very many roles. One of them is pushing you. You know, a mentor is someone who sees talent and ability more in yourself than you see. Then he pushes you to the right direction. Let me give an example. Back in high school, just a day before our KCSE, we had this mentor. He came by and he was talking to us. It was about how you can do it, how you make it your priority to pass. You don't say, I can pass. You say, I must pass. It becomes a priority. Then we were told, the examiner is not planning to fail you. Those questions are there for you to pass. And I remember our first paper was biology practical, and we never had the food test, so I panicked. You know, it's free marks. And we were supposed to mix, I think, sodium hydroxide and something, and I honestly hadn't prepared for that. And I panicked. And I remembered, the mentor actually told us, breathe in, that question is not a trap, just go to the next one. Let me tell you, by the time I was done with the other questions, the first question, which apparently was difficult, the answers just start coming.
Became very easy.
Very easy. And minus that person, I'd probably have panicked through the entire paper. So a mentor pushes you.
Human beings are kind of reserved in the word pushing. Pushing sounds like a force. So kazi ya mentor ni kukuforce wewe, nimeona uko na potential ya kuwa lazima uko hiyo. Because that is how the word push sounds like. Probably it's just me. HD.
I think I'm getting her loud and clear. But maybe if I could pick up on where she's left, in addition to just pushing, a mentor inspires and makes you believe in yourself and in what you can be able to do. Because a lot of people have so much potential that they don't tap into. And if someone is coming to remind you that, by the way, you have it in you and try it out, then Doti might call it pushing, which you might be uncomfortable with. I call it inspiring. Yeah. People pay so much money to listen to motivational speakers. There's a reason why.
Can you take them as mentors, really?
Yeah, exactly as he's saying, motivation speaks and inspiration talks. You can bear me witness that you might go to an inspiration talk, and when you are coming out of that place, your life has changed. You are seeing things in a new angle, in a very different angle. That's right. So there is that's something inside that needs someone to look into you and see, I see talent in this person, and you need to do this and this. That's one work of a mentor.
One thing that I'm picking from the first part is that a mentor needs to have a relationship with a mentee.
That's right.
And we should never conflict our ideas and the thoughts about a role model and an icon, or the people who you look up to. So a mentor should be somebody who you relate to and somebody who possibly you look up to, isn't it?
That's right.
But then that brings me to a question of, he said that kuna wenye anasema aiwe mimi sioni haja ya mentor, I'll be number 2 in the whole of my life because Abu is the best.
Well,
that brings that aspect. How are you supposed to approach it?
Well, I've also been skeptical about the utility of mentors in my life. I've always felt that it's very limiting. Perhaps I'm dreaming this big, but the mentor is only dreaming this big. However, as I'm growing older and of course wiser, I am learning that there is something useful that you can pick up. To reiterate my earlier point, that you can pick up from everyone. And they may not necessarily be mentors in the sense that you meet up with them, over a drink and, you talk. But that communication, that interaction is still very, very important, even if you do not make it so an intimate relationship. But at least that interaction should be there.
But then we cannot rule out the fear that there's a possibility that as much as Doti is mentoring me, there's a possibility that I can be a clone or a second best.
Yeah, I play second fiddle. Yes, Michelle.
I'd like to quote one of my favorite books, Romans 12:2. We are urged not to conform to the patterns of this world. Literally, just take it literally. Do not conform to the patterns of this world. If your mentor wants you to get to this point, because you can only rise as far as you can rise, because you're relying on the mentor's experience. Exactly. So, as wise as you become under the mentor, you then realize that you're conforming to the pattern this person has created to this particular point. So, that's where you come out of that box and not conform on those particular patterns, but to grow. So I believe, okay, there's skepticism, yes, but you can get out of it. It's better to have a mentor and get to a point than not have a mentor at all because you're skeptic about it.
Morris,
Yeah.
how should I tell that friend of mine when I say hakuna haja?
There is no problem.
Hakuna haja, hakuna mentor. With all that you've said, I guess I have my reservation, checky chill. Hapa naona itabidi niombe and all that. What can you tell them?
A mentor, the word of a mentor should not be the final truth.
That's right.
It should not, it should not cage you in a particular place. When I bring it into the Christian perspective, we can look like when someone is baptized and is brought into the church, they are given mentors, and this person is supposed to help you grow spiritually. But when this person is supposed to help you grow spiritually, this person is looking up to someone else. Paul, in one of his books, advises them that you can look up to me as I look up to Christ. But then Paul is a human being. I can be a human being when I'm leading someone else who is born again. But this person, when he gets to learn about this and this in the Christian walk, he needs now to fix his eyes upon a higher person, who is Jesus. He needs to fix, as in the ultimate mentor should be Jesus. That is in the Christian walk.
Wow.
And again, it's important for people to realize, just picking up on what he said, that human beings have shortcomings. Even the most excellent Barack Obama, for instance, he is not a faultless human being. So if Obama insisted that he wanted to be my mentor, I would...
If he insisted?
Yeah. If
he insisted.
If former President Obama insisted that he wanted to be my mentor, I would take what he's teaching me or guiding me with a pinch of salt. That is, I realize that he has his shortcomings. And so for me, I usually prefer a model of having multiple mentors.
That brings me, there are different types of mentors.
Yes.
Different types. We anasema he'll subscribe to 100, including Barack Obama.
If Obama insists.
If he insists. Doti, how many mentors can one have?
As many as possible.
There's no limit.
There is no limit.
Hata kama nataka kuweka HT hakuna shida.
Yeah.
But then don't you think too much of something is poisonous?
But too little is also poisonous.
Too little is safe.
There's fireworks happening here. I believe you can have a mentor for different areas of your life. For instance, I am a budding lawyer. So I have someone that I look up to in the legal profession who guides me. But also in church, I have people that, guide me. In music, I have people that guide me. In these different areas, there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, to having, mentors who are subject specific, if I may call it that. Yes.
Kuna mtu anafundisha hii ABC. Morris.
Yeah, it's the same line. We want to grow in different aspects of our lives. We want to grow spiritually, we want to grow in our careers, and in those specific areas we want mentors, we want those people who are higher there, who want to guide us, this is the way and this is the way it is done. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So if you're at home, hakuna limit, please go all the way, find as many as you can, but then do not find too much, because apparently you can lose touch with them, isn't it?
Yes.
But that brings to me, should it be a priority for a mentor to mentor? Is it a priority for me, for example, if I'm mentoring you, for example, which I'm not insisting, but I'm sure I'm mentoring anyway. The point is, should it be my priority, like I should check up, like HT naja Nicole, HT uko sawa? Should it be a priority, or should it be you seeking me? Because I am the all-knowing in the particular angle.
Well, I guess it depends. This comes down to individuals. Personally, I feel that the burden should be on the mentee.
Mentee.
Yeah, the person who's being mentored should make an effort to, touch base with the mentor. But again, there are some really nice people out here. I know some very wonderful people out here who are very successful in whatever that they're doing, but the success doesn't get into their heads. They look for every opportunity that they can. Personally, I've had people who have mentored me even without me asking for it. They themselves have taken initiative and have, come and held my hand, as it were.
That also begs me to ask. So, can there be an assumption mentorship, as in I'm imagining what he's mentoring me. So just imagine, or should it be like a deal, struck a contract, like Morris, from today on, you're my mentor, until as a how should you approach this?
Exactly as you have said, mentorship, it is like a treaty. you've signed a treaty between this and this particular person.
Contract.
Yeah, it's a contract.
Big
And
one.
as she said, it is a two-way. It is a two-way. Such that the mentor want to know how this my mentee is doing. And the mentee, all the burden lies upon this particular person that is reaching up to know what can I learn this and this. Yeah, it's not about that you've just sat there and it just happens that this person is mentoring me.
So there's nothing like assumption mentoring. You need to make a cautious decision of Dottie is my mentor, HT is my mentor, and he knows about it and she knows about it, so that you're all rather reading from the same page.
That's right.
Wow. Now we're going for a short break, and in the short break we're going to have our talent, but then don't go far, because after that break you're going to have a further discussion on mentorship, on how do we get to choose our mentors. Please stay tuned.
There's a promised land untouched by men, prepared for the saved and the blessed. A city built for square, far away somewhere, as a home for the saints to rest. So many have tried, but they couldn't describe all the beauties on that bright shore. For it's never entered into the hearts of men what the Father has in store. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and never get a story told of the jasper walls and the gates of pearls and the streets made of pure gold. Even John the Revelator in the heavenly vision could never really say what he saw. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and still I could never tell it all. From the throne there springs a glimmering stream of waters pure and sweet, and it flows by the tree of life on its way to the crystal sea. And the precious stones that the walls rest on are of 12 different kinds. Oh, and the night will cease, for the Prince of Peace is the light that forever shines. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and never get a story told of the jasper walls and the gates of pearls and the streets made of pure gold. Even John the Revelator in the heavenly vision could never really say what he saw. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and still I could never tell it all. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and never get a story told of the jasper walls and the gates of pearl and the streets made of pure gold. Even John the Revelator in the heavenly vision could never really say what he saw. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and still I could never tell it all. Even John the Revelator in the heavenly vision could never really say what he saw. I could sing about heaven for 1,000,000 years and still I could never tell it all.
Welcome back to the show. The show is The Identity. I've been your host, and I'm still your host, Sami Mangi, and we are blessed to have three lovely people. From my far left is Maurice, Dottie, and HT, who are sharing with us on today's topic, which is mentorship. Of course, you can contribute to our social media platforms. That is in Facebook. On Facebook is Hope Channel Kenya. On Twitter is @Hope_Kenya. You can also like and follow us, follow the conversation on my Facebook page, that is Samuel Mange, and on Twitter is @Sami Mange. Now, before we went to the break, we're going to touch on how do we get to choose these mentors, because fine, you've understood what is their role, what do they do, what makes up one person, how should it be, but then how do I get to choose a mentor? Dottie?
Choosing a mentor depends on what exactly you're looking for. What exactly is
Your priority.
your priority? For example, right now, if probably I want to do my master's, my mentor can't be doing his undergraduate
Or a diploma.
or a diploma
Lakini inaweza.
Or a certificate.
or a certificate.
Lakini
No, it can't.
inaweza. Haiwezi.
We could,
Lakini kaka ni mtoko knowledgeable that
we
much.
could
lakini-
discuss that in another episode.
Continue, Doti.
So I believe it depends on your goals and it depends on the lifestyle of the mentor. You know, I can't choose a mentor who probably preaches water and drinks wine or moratina. You know, you can't be achieved according to your words, yet it's not seen. For example, a spiritual mentor. If I meet you at a club and here you are telling me of the right way to follow and the right things to do, then that's a problem.
Si ninaenda ku bringing in the sheaves from everywhere.
But then appearance of
difference.
evil.
Sammy, what are you saying?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
To continue?
So basically, it depends on your goals, your plans, and the mentor, his achievements. What exactly are you looking for? So yes, and the character, it's important.
So it has to be individual based, based on what you want. You've mentioned something about lifestyle, but then how critical should it be? For example, if I want to be a lecturer, you know, people have this assumption that lecturers don't know how to tie their ties, they're shaggy and all
They
that
do.
stuff. They do. Yes.
Mentality.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Are you telling me you've never? Okay. Anyway, that aside, why should we base why should we have a keen eye on their lifestyle?
The way Dottie has said, and you know, she's just dropping wisdom today. When someone is not practicing what they're preaching, when they're living a double life, or they're not even living a double life, they're very excellent. I want to quote Charles Spurgeon, a writer that I love reading.
Drop it.
Spurgeon says, education without morals only serves to make clever devils.
Rudia tena?
Education without morals only serves to make clever devils.
Wow.
So, if someone is excellent, but their life is not, their character is not, you know, is not something that people would want to know
Emulate rather.
or emulate, then there's a risk that as they're mentoring you, say in aviation, you want to be a pilot, there's a risk you're going to pick up some of the character traits and they're going to rub off on you. Because you see, when you're spending time with someone, you're not only learning their skills, you're also learning their mannerisms. You start talking like them, you start acting like them, you start thinking like them. And you know, you could go down the drain just like that.
But then, when a mentor is giving you these tips more, is I think anakuambia so that you can more of follow rather hang on to the right ropes zenye anajua zimemfikisha pali yako. But then there's no harm to kind of think like them and overthink like them. Maurice.
There's no harm. A mentor, if someone said that if a man is to shed the light of the sun on other men, that light has to fall on him. It has to be within him. It has to be within him, so that he's giving something that he has already experienced. So if this person, the light that has fallen on him is morally right, I'm going to use that particular rightness in those morals that I'm going to get from this particular person. So the morals of this person is what I'm going to gain. So as she said, it's all about my to-do list. What is above there? What is above there? If I'm getting this from you, then that's what I'm looking in a mentor.
But then I like how you're crowning this aspect that as much as we are looking for A to mentor me in B, we should look at them wholly.
Wholesomely, yes.
Wholesomely, so that we don't focus on one aspect and forget that, hey, we're going to shortcoming up, so I should probably think twice about it.
It's like driving a car with 3 tires. How far will you go? How far will I want you to answer. I'm kidding.
That is a good question. We can talk about it.
That's like driving a tuk-tuk.
A tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then that is amazing. But then now we have decided, we've looked on how we can choose a mentor and look at them wholesomely. And that brings a question of morality, because more than once I've had stories of I was being mentored by someone, but then unfortunately strings attached happened.
Yeah, the mentorship extended.
Mentorship extended to other
non-mentorship issues.
practices and issues. We're not saying relationships, but some other practices that are more of shifting the whole angle of how we approach mentorship. And women have fallen into this. Not only women, but also boys have also fallen into this. To have gone into, like, I have a mentor who's a lady, but then apparently imeenda mpaka sana. So what are some of the key factors to consider as you're looking for a mentor, and how far can mentoring go? Probably Maurice can start us off with this.
When some of these things happen, when mentorship goes beyond to that other level, there is one particular problem that happens. It is that this particular person who is being mentored and the mentor himself, they were not focused. Their mind was not on the mentorship. And then it is very possible when you do not have focus in something that you're doing, it's very possible to wander off and your mind will go to other things. So I think when I know that I want this in this particular mentor, then what I'm going for is focus. This is what I need. Apart from that, there is nothing else that we share. That's why I said that whatever the mentor says, whatever the mentor does is not the final truth. What I need is to this particular point, and when I'm done with that, I've gotten my knowledge.
Isn't that being selfish? Kwa sababu mentor anaweza kuja sema, si nimekusaidia mami, si unisaidie.
Hiyo si kusaidiana. Hiyo si kusaidiana.
That's blackmail.
That's something totally different. I believe, wait a minute. Okay, we are being focused on mentorship in age race. I'm thinking, what if in a case, he is probably doing his master's, I'm doing my undergraduate, and...
Amen. May it come true.
And probably, he's 4 years older than me, and he mentors me, and I get my master's, and I am done. Then strings appear from nowhere and attach us. In such a case,
We thank God.
In such a case, how do you approach it?
How do you approach it?
'Cause
Because our priorities were set, and we got them, and we are okay.
Could I respond?
Please do.
There's a habit that African mothers, okay, let me not assume, I've not visited many African countries, Kenyan mothers have, when they're bringing in a house girl, that they bring in a very old lady. I know for the long time I used to wonder, I never used
Why?
to make sense. Then I discovered part of the reason why they do that, I don't know if this is the reason in entirety, but part of the reason why they do that is they do not want to bring in a young lady who's going to put the man of the house in a difficult situation. I'm very reluctant with having mentors who are my age. Not that they're not able or they're not qualified or skilled enough, but there is an element of age which is essential, and it's also important to, define boundaries. And, like, if I had the choice between picking a male mentor and a female mentor, the right thing to do would be to pick the male mentor.
What will be wrong to, for example, if you have a female mentor who has succeeded more than the male mentor?
It is not wrong. What I'm saying is that if I have a choice, if both of them are available for my selection, then I will go for.
Why not?
Because I do not want to put myself in. Even if there is nothing compromising that happens. People talk, and if it's a lady who says 2 years older than me, there's already question marks, and we are meeting up in at certain funny hours of so it's just appropriate first of all to consider the element of age. Someone who is much older would be more advisable, not that in that case tricky things cannot happen, but the chances are reduced. And then it is also important that we stick with, I love the Jews. The Jews have a very nice mentorship, I don't know what I can call it, but Jewish boys are taught from the time they're very little boys, 5-6 years old. They're taught by the rabbis. The ladies are taught by the whatever. And I think there's a lot of sense and wisdom in that.
So we should all seek to find a mentor who is much older. Preferably much older.
Yes.
Same sex.
And same sex.
Yes.
Maurice, you want to add voice into this?
Much older, then it will depend on what what you're looking for in that particular mentorship.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
But then, just to put it in a safe margin, that it is safer.
It is safer that way.
But then that's a conversation. Okay, it is safe. Yes, I'm a lady. I've picked a mentor who is a lady who is 10 years older. But then apparently itafika tu point unasikia, sasa naona umefika miaka kuolewa. Ama tu a male mental belief, sasa baba, fanya mambo. How do you go about that?
First of all, what is the relationship between this mentor and I?
Because you started, as you said, you clearly do the boundary of, I'm here to get this and this and this.
Yeah, I'm here to get...
But just to make more of friends now, and I need ideas, and I'm like, okay, we can keep talking anyway. You can keep talking.
Yeah, of course, there's no boundaries. If the relationship goes to friendship, now we shall be talking as friends. He shall not be advising me as a mentor. Now, when he tells me this and this, you should do this, when it comes to making some decision like marital decision, and I had not come for that particular decision, now tell him that it's a good one you've suggested, but then I go back and sit and decide for myself. Yeah.
That brings me to another question. How long shall mentorship take long? Should you, as in, can I have a mentor the whole of my life? Ama can we have, I have now given you a contract for 2 years, 2 months, mentor me on this aspect. HD.
Do we stay in school for our whole lives?
We don't stay in school for our whole lives.
I rest my case.
How I wish that you did not approach it in a lawful way, and then dirty.
It depends on your goals, aspirations, what you planned. But there are certain mentors who you cannot do away with. I'm thinking in cases of relationship mentors. You know, you'll always need their help, their advices as you advance in age. Even in your marriages, you'll need them. You know, but in certain cases like academics, probably social life, with time, you will stop needing them.
There's also the element that as you are teaching other people, a time should also come when as you are learning from other people, a time should come when you're also able to impart that knowledge to other people. Because life is very dynamic, so I can't remain at one place for long. Even in relationships, as Loti is putting it, at some point, young people will be coming to me for advice, and I'll be like, have a seat. Let me tell you how it's done.
Open your ears.
Yes.
Let me impart some knowledge.
In fact, sorry, let me just read this one real quick. There's a gentleman called Peter F. Drucker. I don't know who he is, but he says, no one learns much about the subject as one who is forced to teach it. So it is when the purpose of sharing with other people, it also equips you. If, for instance, you play an instrument, and key underline, for instance, you play an instrument.
What are you trying to imply? Anyway,
let's say you play a cello and you're very good at it. When you are mentoring other people and when you're teaching other people, you get even better at it. Now imagine if you wanted to be taught the rest of your life. You're just following people. Oh, what do you think? Am I doing this right? Yeah, so it's also important for you to get to the place when you can also mentor other people.
Maurice, please that breath.
Yeah. When you realize that you're being mentored the whole of your life, then there is a problem.
Kuna sida.
Yeah, there is a problem. Because the purpose of getting mentored is to get to a particular place. And when you're not getting...
destination.
Yeah, you have to have goals. You have to have that this is the vision I want to get from this particular mentorship. And when you don't get it, then it means that you've not been learning. But then in the Christian perspective, the mentor Jesus should be your mentor the whole of your life.
And he's the all-through mentor.
There should be no end. Yeah.
Wow, I like it. I like it how you bring it. We should love Jesus Christ to mentor us all in everything.
That's right.
Some will argue, lakini Jesus alichukua watu wenye kuenda shule, naughty people in the society and all that stuff.
In fact, that is a good oh my goodness. I could buy you a soda right now. That's
Please
a very
do.
good example.
Okay, move on, please.
After the show. Jesus took average people and he used this average people to create a movement that has not died out till today. 2,000 years of human history and Christianity is still going on strong, despite the many attempts to quash it. So I think Jesus is a good model. And when we look at how he dealt with his disciples and the patience that he exercised with them, we can also learn a few lessons. And we can learn that, the way he said, he's the ultimate example. By fishermen, tax collectors, average people, emulated Jesus, and look what difference they have made in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now what happens if here I am, nimeona Mwanza Morris anaweza ni mentor. Wow, huyu mjamaa ako poa. Now I approach him like, Morris, I need you to mentor me. And Morris is like, where? No, thank you. What happens then? Michelle, what happens?
I believe you can't force a mentor to mentor you. You know, I believe in life, certain things happen for a reason. Maybe Morris wasn't good enough.
But probably that's the only person in my vicinity.
It's like choosing a girlfriend. We mse, msichana akikukataa utalia. So unaenda kuuliza mwingine wako ngapi duniani. So unaenda kutafuta mwingine. So if a mentor rejects, and I don't think there's anyone who's diabolical enough to refuse to mentor someone, but if there's someone who's actually that messed up, then probably they're not even supposed to be a mentor in the first place.
What is?
Mentorship is a calling. Yeah?
Mentorship is a calling.
Mentorship is a calling.
So there are people who can't mentor.
There are some people who can't just do it. Not everyone can be a teacher. So when I said that mentoring is a virtue and it's giving back to the society, not everyone is ready to give back to the society. So I believe God will guide you wisely to see that this person, when I approach them, they are going to be willing to guide me in this particular field.
Yeah. So no, don't give up. Come Kataliwa, isn't it? There are very many mentors.
Why does it sound like the topic has changed?
It's about mentorship, and I'm looking for mentorship, and it's all about likini mentor menikata. So there's someone out there for you. Probably there's someone better as you push, isn't it? Now, do you have to seek permission? As
From
in
who?
As in, can't I just sit and watch? As in, you're my mentor like in Skombi, and I don't want to have a one or a tete-a-tete with you. Can't I just watch?
Then that takes us back to what we started at the beginning. Is this person a mentor or a virtual mentor or a role model?
A virtual. If it's a virtual mentor, probably can shed light now as we wind up.
My thought of a virtual mentor, I have these people that I look up to who do not know I exist. There's one particular gentleman whose name I will not mention
So that
for
he doesn't
purposes of my own peace of mind.
So.
But there's one particular gentleman who I really admire, and I like the way he lives his life, and I follow him secretly. I look at what the things he does. I consider him a virtual mentor because he's mentoring me and he doesn't even know it. Hiyo ndio inaitwa kumake it, mse. You're mentoring people who don't even know you're mentoring them.
Yes. Hopefully that we get to be mentors when after we're done with this. And probably can add breath as we wind up. What are some of the things now that we have found the mentor, rather we want to be mentors? Because kuna they're rather indoors. Lakini wako na the reach of knowledge and everything. Lakini kwa sababu nakuanga tu
Still waters.
Yani, unaweza imagine tu hana. How can we put ourselves out there for mentoring so that I don't know kama it's like a market show where I can mentor you. I don't know.
I think I'll put it in a Christian perspective, in the receiving of Christ. When someone receives Christ and have a walk with Christ, it gets to a point that you can't hold it anymore. Such that you have taken Christ, you've tasted and seen that He's good, and all you want to do is get someone else to taste
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and see that He is also good. So even in the walks of life, when I've gone to this particular place and I've succeeded in a particular career, and in this place, it's also human to get someone else to go through the same way. And I think that's why I said it's a calling, because wanting to do good, it doesn't
giving
come
back to society, doing good to as you wind up, Michelle.
I'd like to say there are so many organizations actually out there where you can subscribe as a mentor and also get mentored. Yeah, I believe we need mentors in our lives. We really need them. You need to know which aspect in life you need to take. You know, there are so many people out there who do not know what to do, especially, for example, the Form 4s who are going to university. They have no idea if people still do courses like rodo fighter or, you know, paleontology. And honestly, I might be coming from Isiolo or someplace and I had no idea. If only a mentor could reach out, you know, you don't even have to get paid. You just reach out, because there is so much blessings in giving than receiving.
Amen.
You know.
Sammy, could you please ask her to repeat that course that she said?
Could you please repeat that course that you say?
See me after the show.
Come on, that's not fair. Okay,
Your
fine.
closing remarks.
My closing remarks. I'd like to use an example of a mentorship that I can consider very successful. There are Greek philosophers who lived in the past, some of them before the time of Jesus. One was Socrates, another one was Plato, another one was Aristotle. Plato was a student of Socrates. Aristotle was a student of Plato. And these three Greek thinkers have shaped literally the thinking of the world today. Most of our universities are modeled after what they came up with. Now, I may not necessarily agree with everything that they stood out for, but I think that's a beautiful illustration of how much you can accomplish if you put yourself under the wings of someone who has experience. And because Socrates was an excellent guy and he mentored Plato, Plato also became excellent. We even have words that have been named after him: Platonic thinking and Aristotelian thinking. So everyone could use a mentor. I don't think anyone should be proud to say that I got this. No, you don't got this. Yes.
Thank you. As you wind up.
We're winding up. Just one statement. The Dead Sea, as it exists today, is dead because it does not give out whatever it receives.
Yes.
Wow.
So for those who think that they are excellent in some particular field, giving out is what makes you grow.
Wow.
Deep.
Wow.
Deep.
Apoto.
Anyway, thank you very much. We have shared a lot. Thank you for coming on board. We're going on a short piece that we have prepared on this inspiration segment. Please stay tuned.
I felt worthless. I felt useless. I felt like I wasn't capable of doing anything in my life.
Well, I was misdirected. I was selfish, manipulative.
I was drinking, I was cutting.
I had a low self-image.
I didn't believe in myself.
I didn't know where should I be 5-10 years down the road.
I found a mentor that actually had character in his life that I wanted.
Reading books. I started listening to CDs.
So I started going out there and looking for new people to hang around.
He mentored me on every area you can imagine.
Now I've paid off over $26,000 in debt in just over a year. Created a positive impact group with over 600 members in 2 cities.
I'm really moving on a path to help people, and the difference is that I feel like I can truly help them.
And my confidence is definitely higher, my self-esteem is higher. I know who I am, I know the things that I stand for. I don't allow different things in my life anymore.
It's a world of difference. You probably can't even recognize the same person.
It's very important for me to be able to be a man that has leadership and standards in life and be able to surround my son with men and women who he can look up to and have role models as well.
You know, without the mentorship, I would have literally, I can't even explain where I'd be in my life right now.
I believe my life calling now is to mentor others. And had I not have met the people that I've met and been mentored, I would not be where I am, and I would not have the vision that I have today.
Thank you for being with us through this show. Thank you for sharing with us your comments, your feedback. Thank you for interacting with us. If you haven't, our Facebook page is Hope Channel Kenya. On Twitter is @Hope_Kenya. Of course, you can also get to me on Facebook. That is Samuel Mangi. And on Twitter is @Sami Maangi. Share your views and comments on what you think about it. And we do hope that what we have shared can be instrumental to bringing us up. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
inviting us. Thank you for your
us.
sharing. Thank you. We do hope that you can go out there and become mentors and mentor other people. And I'd like to end up with this show by saying what actually Dottie said. If you give, it is more blessing and more fulfilling if you give than receiving. Go out and change the world. I've been your host, Samuel Mangi. Be blessed.